How did kings sleep in medieval castles during harsh winters without modern heating? Relaxing history. Hello guys, today we will know about a colder past. A quiet world of stone walls, heavy doors, and long winter nights. This story is meant to help you relax, to slow your breathing, and to gently fall asleep while listening to history told softly. We are traveling back to medieval Europe, to a great stone castle near the city of Winchester, in southern England, around the late 1200s. A time when winters were long, and warmth was precious, even for kings. There is a small, quiet suspense here. Not of danger, but of endurance. Of how people lived, and how they rested through bitter cold. With patience and routine. The castle rises above the town. Thick stone walls pale in winter light. Towers standing still against a gray sky. Below it, the city rests quietly. Narrow streets winding between timber houses. Their roofs dark with damp and frost. In winter mornings, fog lies low, clinging to cobbled streets, softening the sound of footsteps. Oil lamps glow faintly at night, casting small circles of light, then fading one by one. Carts creak slowly along the stones. Horses move carefully, their breath clouding the air. People pull cloaks tight, heads lowered against wind. Most people in the city live simply, in small, cramped houses, shared by families. Sometimes animals too. A single hearth provides warmth. Smoke drifting upward through holes in the roof. Bread is baked early. Dark loaves of rye or barley. Porridge simmers quietly. Meals are plain, but filling enough to survive the cold. Children help with chores, fetching water, gathering fuel, sweeping floors. Some attend charity schools when weather allows. Others learn through work. This is the world beyond the castle walls. Steady, quiet, unseen by most nobles. Inside the castle, life is different, but not as warm as many imagine. Stone holds cold fiercely. Walls are thick, yet they drink winter air deeply. The castle's corridors are long, arched, dimly lit by torches. Footsteps echo softly, then disappear into silence. Windows are narrow slits, covered with wooden shutters, sometimes lined with cloth. Glass is rare, and offers little protection from cold. Even kings feel winter here. The king's chamber lies deep within the castle, placed away from outer walls when possible, to escape the worst wind. Heavy wooden doors close it off, thick with iron fittings, meant to block drafts. Yet cold still seeps in, through stone, through cracks unseen, through the very floor beneath. The chamber is large, but emptiness brings chill. So it is filled carefully, with tapestries, with wooden furniture, with fabric wherever possible. Tapestries hang along the walls, woven with scenes of forests, hunts, Biblical stories. They serve more than decoration. They trap air and soften the cold stone behind them. Wooden panels are sometimes added, lining lower walls. Simple, functional, meant to keep warmth close. Rushes cover the floor. Dried reeds spread thickly, sometimes mixed with herbs. They provide insulation and absorb damp. At the center or near one wall, a large hearth burns. This is the heart of the chamber. Logs crackle slowly. Smoke rises into a tall chimney. Warmth gathers nearby, but fades quickly with distance. Servants tend this fire constantly, feeding it through the night. Careful not to let it die. Fuel is costly, even for kings. Coal is used when available. More often wood. Stored carefully. Counted daily. As evening approaches, the castle grows quieter. Servants finish their work, moving softly, not to disturb. Meals are taken earlier in winter, to allow rest before long nights. The king eats bread, thick soups, stewed meat, vegetables preserved from autumn. Food is richer than that of peasants, yet still simple. Designed for warmth and strength, not indulgence. Ale or wine is served to warm the body, taken slowly. After the meal, the chamber is prepared for sleep. This is a careful ritual, repeated every night. The bed stands large, raised high from the floor, supported by wooden posts. Curtains hang from a frame above, forming a smaller room within the chamber. These curtains are heavy, made of wool or linen. They trap warmth, blocking drafts, and creating still air. The mattress is stuffed with straw, or feathers for the wealthy. Thick blankets lie atop. Several layers, sometimes fur-lined. The king wears a long night garment, made of wool. Sometimes a cap covers the head, to prevent heat loss. Even royalty sleeps clothed. Winter demands it. Before lying down, a warming pan may be used. A metal dish filled with hot coals, passed over the bed linens, to drive out damp and chill. This is done carefully, to avoid sparks. Fire is both comfort and danger. Servants remove the pan, check the sheets, then step back quietly. Outside the chamber, guards take their positions, wrapped in cloaks, standing still in corridors. The castle never fully sleeps. Torches burn low, replaced when needed. Their light flickers against stone, casting slow shadows. Wind presses against towers, whistling through narrow openings. Snow may fall silently, piling against walls. Inside the bed curtains, warmth gathers slowly. The air is close, but protected. Breathing steadies. The body relaxes. Sleep comes gradually. Light at first, broken by cold or sound, then deeper. Even kings wake during the night, to the sound of wind, to the shifting fire, to distant footsteps. Beyond the royal chamber, the rest of the castle rests unevenly. Servants sleep in small rooms, or on pallets near their duties, wrapped in cloaks, close to kitchens or fires. Some lie in the great hall, near dying embers. Others in towers, where cold is sharper. Children of servants sleep close to parents, sharing warmth, learning early how winter feels. In the town below, peasants sleep in cramped homes. Fires burned low to last till morning. Families huddle together, sharing blankets, sharing breath. Bread and porridge sustain them. Simple meals before bed, to keep hunger away through the night. Children curl inward, listening to the wind, as their parents do. Morning in winter arrives slowly. Gray light creeping into streets. Fog lifting gradually. The castle stirs again. Servants rise early, adding fuel to fires, preparing warm food, ensuring the king wakes in relative comfort. Porridge is served, bread cut thick, meat sometimes warmed from the night before. The hearth is fed again, smoke rising into the pale sky. Days follow this pattern, careful, measured, repeating through the cold months. The castle endures winter, not through luxury, but through routine, through preparation, through constant tending of fire and fabric. Stone remains cold, but human effort pushes back, just enough. As night returns once more, the chamber is prepared again. Curtains drawn, fire banked, the bed warmed. Outside, the town grows quiet. Lamps extinguished, streets empty. Inside, the castle breathes slowly. Stone settling, wood creaking softly. And as you rest now, imagine that chamber. The heavy curtains, the dim hearth, the sound of wind beyond stone walls. Let the repetition soothe you. The slow certainty of nightly ritual. The endurance of winter. Breathe slowly, as medieval kings did, wrapped in wool and silence, waiting for morning. Let your thoughts fade, like torchlight down a corridor. Soft, steady, and allow sleep to arrive gently, as it has for centuries. Through long winters, inside cold stone walls. Hello guys, today we will continue quietly, returning once more to the winter nights of medieval Winchester, where stone walls hold the cold, and warmth must be earned slowly. This narration is meant to calm you further, to slow the body, and to guide you gently towards sleep. Winter settles deeper now. The castle stands silent under a pale sky. Frost clings to its outer stones, and the wind moves steadily along the battlements. Guards walk their rounds slowly, boots scraping softly against frozen ground. Below the castle, the town is still. Narrow cobbled streets lie empty. Fog drifts between timber houses. Oil lamps burn weakly, their light trembling in the cold air, then disappearing as doors close for the night. The smell of smoke hangs everywhere, from hearths both great and small. A shared scent of survival. Inside the castle walls, cold travels freely. Down long corridors, through stairwells, into every chamber. Even rooms used by the king are never fully warm. Servants move quietly through these passages, carrying wood, carrying candles, their footsteps muffled by rushes on the floor. They know where drafts gather, where stone breathes cold most sharply. Doors are kept closed whenever possible. Thick oak panels pressed firmly into frames. Leather strips are sometimes fixed along edges. Simple attempts to slow the cold. The king's chamber is checked again before night deepens. Tapestries are adjusted, pulled closer to walls, ensuring no gap remains. Each hanging is heavy, woven thick, meant to trap warmth and silence. The rushes on the floor are turned, fresh herbs added when available. Their scent is faint, but comforting, masking damp and smoke. The hearth is rebuilt carefully. Embers stirred, new fuel added slowly. Flames rise, then settle, controlled and patient. As darkness thickens outside, the castle grows quieter still. Servants withdraw to their sleeping places. Some remain near the royal chamber, ready if needed, alert even in rest. The king prepares for sleep as daylight ends early. Winter allows little time between meal and night. Hands are washed in warmed water, a rare comfort. Then dried quickly. A final cup of ale or wine may be taken. Not for pleasure, but warmth. The body settling more easily afterward. The bed stands waiting, raised high, surrounded by heavy curtains. These curtains are drawn part way, allowing warmth from the hearth to enter, but blocking drafts from stone walls. Servants test the linens, touching them carefully, feeling for cold. If needed, the warming pan is used again, gliding slowly across the sheets. The smell of heated metal fades quickly. Sheets grow dry, less hostile to winter air. The king lies down clothed, wool against skin, blankets pulled high. Fur covers the feet. A nightcap may be worn. Heat guarded carefully. Within the curtains, the air grows still, warmer than the chamber beyond. Breathing slows. The body relaxes slightly. Outside the curtains, the fire continues to burn low, watched by a nearby servant. Fuel is added only when needed, never wasted. Sleep comes unevenly, as it does for many in winter. Light sleep first, broken by sound, by the crack of wood, by the moan of wind against towers. At times, the king wakes. Shifts position. Pulls blankets closer. Then stillness returns. The castle itself seems to sleep lightly. Wood creaks. Stone settles. A distant door closes softly. Elsewhere in the castle, servants rest on pallets, wrapped in cloaks, sleeping near kitchens or guardrooms, where warmth lingers longest. Children of servants sleep beside parents, sharing heat, breathing in the same rhythm, learning winter through closeness. In towers and outer rooms, cold is sharper, sleep lighter. Blankets pulled tight, bodies curled inward. Below, in the town, peasants sleep in cramped homes. Fires banked low to last till morning. Families crowd together, sharing warmth as best they can. Bread eaten before bed. Porridge thickened when possible, to quiet hunger through the night. Wind moves along the streets. But inside, life holds still. Hours pass slowly, marked only by bells from the cathedral. Their sound dull in fog and snow. Each hour reminds the castle and the town. That night continues. The hearth burns down, then is fed again quietly. Smoke rises steadily, finding its way upward. Toward morning, cold feels sharpest. Just before dawn, breath clouds inside chambers, even within curtains. Yet warmth remains. Barely. Enough. And as you listen now, imagine that silent chamber. The heavy bed. The guarded fire. The slow breathing behind drawn curtains. Let the repetition calm you. The steady endurance of winter nights. The castle waits for morning, as it has always done. Patient, unchanging, and sleep drifts closer. Soft, quiet, steady. Hello guys, today we return once again to the same winter castle, where night stretches long, and silence settles deeply into stone. This part of the story moves even more slowly, meant to quiet the mind and carry you gently toward rest. The deepest hours of night have passed, yet the cold has not loosened its hold. Inside the castle, the air feels still, almost heavy, as if the stone itself is holding its breath. Torches burn low in wall brackets, their flames small, carefully kept, so they last until morning. Shadows barely move now, resting against arches and doorways. Guards shift their weight quietly, wrapped in thick cloaks. Hands numb, faces calm. They know this cold well, as they know these hours. Inside the king's chamber, the fire has settled into glowing embers. No longer bright, but steady, giving off a soft, constant warmth. Just enough. The heavy curtains around the bed remain drawn, their fabric still, protecting the small pocket of air within. Inside, breathing is slow, even, unhurried. Blankets lie heavy, layer upon layer. Wool and fur holding warmth close. The mattress creaks faintly as the body shifts, then grows still again. Sleep here is not deep and endless. It comes in gentle waves. Rest. Then awareness. Then rest again. Elsewhere in the castle, servants sleep lightly, their rest shaped by duty. Some lie near kitchens, where the last warmth lingers. Others rest in corners of halls, beneath stairways, against inner walls. Children sleep close to their parents, wrapped together, sharing blankets, sharing breath. Their dreams are quiet, shaped by routine rather than comfort. In outer towers, cold presses harder. Stone walls offer little mercy. Here, sleep is shallow. Bodies curl inward, seeking any trace of warmth. Outside the castle, the town remains dark and still. Snow lies untouched in corners. Fog softens rooftops, and the river moves slowly, its surface black and quiet. In small houses below, families sleep crowded together. Fires banked low, embers barely glowing. Parents wake occasionally, checking the hearth, then lying back down. Children murmur in their sleep, turning toward warmth instinctively. Hunger is forgotten for a few hours. Cold is held at bay, just enough. Back within the castle walls, a servant moves softly through a corridor, carrying a small bundle of wood. Footsteps are slow, deliberate, sound barely rising above the hush. The hearth in the royal chamber is fed again. One log placed carefully. Not too much. Flame lifts briefly, then settles. Embers brightening. Smoke rises smoothly, finding its way upward through the tall chimney. The servant waits a moment, listening, then withdraws silently. The hours edge toward dawn. Though the sky remains dark, winter light arrives reluctantly, and only after long waiting. Within the bed curtains, the air remains close, slightly warmer than before. The body rests more deeply now, breathing slower, muscles loose. Outside, the wind eases, then returns, moving along stone walls, testing shutters, whispering through narrow openings. The castle stands firm, as it always has, absorbing the cold, enduring without complaint. In the great hall, ashes lie thick on the hearth floor. Benches stand empty, tables dark and silent. The vast space feels colder now. Without voices, without movement. Yet even here, the memory of warmth remains, held in stone, waiting for daylight and fire. Slowly, very slowly, a faint change begins. The darkness softens, almost unnoticeable. A suggestion of morning. Far away, the bells of the cathedral do not ring yet. But time continues its quiet turning. the same as it has for centuries. And as you listen now, imagine this castle in its stillest hour. The heavy curtains, the dim embers, the steady breath of those asleep. Let the repetition calm you. The unchanging rhythm of winter nights. The cold remains outside. The fire holds within. And rest deepens gently. Sleep moves closer still. Soft. Patient. Unchanging. Hello guys, today we stay a little longer in the same quiet hour. When night has not yet loosened its grip. And morning has not yet arrived. This part is meant to be especially slow. Steady and gentle. So your thoughts can drift without effort. The castle remains wrapped in stillness. Stone walls hold the cold without complaint. Corridors lie empty. Their arches dark and unmoving. Only the faint glow of embers marks the passing of time. In the king's chamber, the fire has settled again. Not bright. Not loud. Just alive enough to endure. Its warmth does not spread far. But it is enough for those who know how to use it. The heavy bed curtains hang quietly. Their folds unmoving. Creating a sheltered space within a vast, cold room. Inside, the air feels calmer. Protected from wandering drafts. Beyond the royal chamber, life waits in silence. Servants sleep where they can. Near inner walls. Away from windows. Their cloaks remain wrapped tightly. Even in rest. Some lie on pallets of straw. Their bodies curled inward. Hands tucked close. Breath slow and even. They have learned how to sleep lightly. How to wake quickly if needed. Children rest beside them. Heads pressed against familiar shoulders. Sharing warmth instinctively. Their sleep is deep now. Untouched by the cold beyond stone. Outside, the town below is still dark. Narrow cobbled streets glisten faintly. Frozen mist clings low. And the river barely moves. The lamps have long since dimmed. Leaving only darkness and quiet. In small houses, families remain huddled together. Fires nearly spent. Embers glowing faintly. The cold presses close to doors and shutters. But inside, breath and bodies keep life steady. Bread eaten before sleep still warms the stomach. Porridge lingers in memory. Enough to carry them through the night. Back within the castle, the great hall sleeps as well. Its vast space feels heavier without sound. Benches stand empty. Tables bare. The hearth lies quiet. Ashes deep and gray. Stone pillars rise into darkness above. Their tops unseen. The hall waits patiently. As it has through countless winters. For voices. For fire. For day. The coldest moment of night arrives quietly. Just before dawn. Breath feels sharper. Stone colder to the touch. Even within bed curtains, the chill is felt faintly. A servant moves once more. Slow. Careful. Adding a final piece of fuel to the fire. Flame responds softly. Then settles again. This small act keeps warmth alive. Not comfort, but survival. The same balance held night after night. Time passes without markers. No sound. No movement. Only the steady presence of stone and fire. And the breathing of those asleep. Then, very gradually, something changes. The darkness lightens almost imperceptibly. Not yet morning. But no longer deep night. The sky beyond narrow windows softens. Gray replacing black. Inside the chamber, warmth remains gathered. Held by cloth. By wool. By patient preparation. Sleep deepens rather than fades. The body resting fully now. Outside, the wind eases briefly. Then drifts on. Leaving the castle untouched. Standing as it always has. And as you listen now, imagine this final hour before dawn. The quiet strength of stone. The guarded warmth of fire. The steady endurance of those within. Let your thoughts slow further. Let the repetition carry you. As it carried kings and servants alike. The night loosens gently. The castle waits. And rest settles deeper still. Hello guys, today we remain within the castle a little longer. As the night slowly releases its hold. And the first signs of morning approach without sound. This part moves gently. Meant to keep the mind calm. And the body at rest. The sky beyond the narrow windows begins to pale. Not bright. Not clear. Just a softer shade of gray. Winter morning arrives carefully. As if not to disturb those still sleeping. Inside the king's chamber, the fire holds steady. Embers glowing faintly. Their warmth quiet and reliable. The heavy curtains around the bed remain closed. Keeping the small pocket of warmth intact. Breathing remains slow. Deep. Untroubled. The body rests fully now. Wrapped in layers. Protected by cloth and habit. Elsewhere in the castle, sleep lingers unevenly. Some servants begin to stir. Not rising yet. Just shifting slightly. Aware that the night is nearly done. A guard changes position on the wall. Boots scraping softly. Cloak pulled tighter. The air still bites. Even as dawn nears. In the outer towers, the cold is sharpest now. Stone feels almost alive with it. Yet even here, people endure. As they always have. Patiently. Below the castle, the town remains quiet. Streets are empty. Cobbles slick with frost. Fog thins slowly near the river. Lifting just enough to reveal dark water moving beneath. In small houses, families remain asleep. Bodies pressed together. Embers dim. Fires waiting to be stirred again. Children breathe evenly. Faces calm. Dreams unbroken. The hardest part of the night has passed. Back within the castle walls, the great hall begins to change subtly. Not with sound. But with light. Shadows shift slightly along stone pillars. Arches becoming faintly visible. The vast space still feels cold, but not as heavy. Morning brings the promise of fire and movement, even if warmth will remain scarce. Ashes lie ready to be stirred. Benches wait silently. The hall has learned this rhythm well. In the king's chamber, a servant enters quietly. Steps careful. Movements slow. Checking the fire once more. A small piece of fuel is added. Just enough to hold warmth through waking. Flame responds briefly. Then settles again. The servant withdraws, leaving silence behind. Respecting rest. Within the bed curtains, the air remains still. The body begins to shift slightly. Not awake, but nearing it. The warmth has done its work. Outside, the wind has softened. No longer pressing as hard against stone. Snow lies undisturbed. Quiet. Patient. Morning does not rush this place. It never has. Winter teaches slowness. And the castle listens. Light grows a little stronger. Enough to mark time. Not enough to warm. Yet life continues. As it always does. And as you listen now, imagine this gentle crossing between night and day. The fire still glowing. The stone slowly releasing cold. Let your breathing remain slow. Your thoughts steady. As they were in these quiet chambers. The night has passed. The castle endures. And rest lingers softly. Even as morning waits just beyond the walls.